Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about BB7 All-Stars, the second eviction, number 2.
But first, I'm going to put my microphone up here where it's supposed to go.
Great idea, Sarah.
Oh my gosh. And also, but first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And please support us on Patreon. There's a link in the description. You know we deserve it after that smooth move by Sarah.
Right? I'm going to buy a robot that tells me to put my microphone in front of me.
That was so good, though. But first, I'm going to put my microphone here.
Luckily, I noticed it at the beginning. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we are, what do we come up with? This is when Diane and Nokomis were left on the block. Erica chose not to use the veto.
Right.
So we're following
We're on the second HOH is Kayser. Right. He put Diane and Nokomis up. Veto has not been used. And here we're heading into our second eviction.
And Will could not be more disappointed that he is not on the block. Still, he thought for sure.
Even the veto. Come on.
I mean, Erica, use the veto. Do me the service of taking down one of those knobs so I can go up. It's all part of my master plan.
Honestly, this is the best way to play it. Like you go in telling everyone you're a target.
Yeah.
It's so good because if he were to get evicted right now, if he were to go up, he'd be like, of course.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You should be doing this.
You should. Then you walk out with your head held high, basically, because you're like, absolutely, they should vote me out. It's the best. It's like win-win all around.
Right. Yeah, but they're not really buying into it right now. I think they're like, what are you doing, Will? Like, they're just kind of confused, and they're like, can you just shut up? So Erica does not use the veto, and she goes in and she apologizes to Diane and Nokomis because, you know, she didn't have the power to name the renom, and she didn't want to, you know, stir things up, and I'm sorry, and this and that. And Danielle's like, well, Diane is like, that is a cop-out, and I don't like cop-outs. But she and Nokomis essentially agree, like, we're not going to campaign against each other. I think Diane says, like, I'm not campaigning at all. If you want to, go for it. But they both kind of settle on, like, no, we're friends. Like, we're not going to do that.
I love it when someone's like, I mean, I'm not going to, but if you want to, okay.
Right.
That never,
sure. I can read the subtext there.
No, I probably will. You're not going to, but I will. Okay. You can't answer that. Right. You can't say that.
I know. And then it's just the house kind of talking about who's the bigger threat, right?
Who should we get rid of? Who should we keep? Everyone's got a different opinion. Jace played with both of them. So he's like, well, you know, Diane can kind of just like lose it. She's kind of fiery. Yeah. Nokomis, sure, chill, calm, but always smart. Always thinking.
Always thinking. And then we get Janelle and Marcellus in the bathtub, which I loved this little segment, and I love the two of them together. But they were like kind of on different pages, interestingly. Like, they're clearly working together. We've seen Marcellus up in the HOH room with the season 6 people. Like, I think Janelle is kind of his way into that group. Like, they are two peas in a pod right now. So for sure they are aligned. But Janelle saying
in a tub right now.
In a tub. Oh, thank you, Sarah. So Janelle saying, like, I think Diane is with Chilltown. So let's get Diane out and weaken that little, you know, pocket of the house. And Marcellus is saying, like, Nokomis could win this entire thing. Like, I think she's the bigger threat. Yeah. And Marcellus is like, regardless of how it goes, I just need Janelle in the final 2 with me because we are gorgeous.
The most aesthetically pleasing final 2 right here. And honestly, I can't argue with you, Marcellus. I can't.
No, you're both beautiful people. Yeah. Yeah. But he's like, Janelle, normally I would be happy to be left with a bunch of guys any other time, but you cannot leave me in this house with these people. Okay.
I do adore them together. They are kind of fun.
They're fun.
So during this whole like debate, like, you know, people are, which one do we keep? Which one do we keep? We see the two of them kind of go to work. So Nokomis, she goes into the HOH room with the season 6 people, and she's like, look, I am here to break up Chilltown. If I stay, that's what I'm doing. Chilltown's got to go. And which is obviously music to their ears. And then Diane's down with Chilltown and plus a few.
Yeah.
And she's like, season 6, gotta go. Break them up.
Yeah.
We gotta, right? We're all on the same page. So they're both working.
They are working. They're not necessarily working against each other. Like they're kind of staying true to their word. Like, I'm not going to campaign against you. They're just taking different strategies. And it's interesting to me because I do agree from what I've seen of Nokomis and Diane so far. I agree with Jace's assessment that Nokomis is like the brainier player, more of the thinker, like maybe sees the bigger picture a little more clearly. But I think Diane's strategy is better because Diane is appealing to more people in the house. Like the non-season 6 side of the house is much bigger than the season 6 side. So even if Nokomis thought like, I do want to get Chilltown out, I think it was the wrong move to go to, 3 or 4 season 6 people, only 3 of whom are going to be voting unless it's a tie because Kayser's the HOH. So she's essentially going to 3 people and saying like, I could work with you. Like, let's figure out a way to keep me. Well, there are only 3 people, whereas Diane can go to like the other however many it is, 6, 7, I don't know, and say like, well, we all know season 6 has to get split up, so keep me and I'll do that, So it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to go to the HOH crew, whoever that is, because you lean towards they have some sort of power. I mean, not always, but often the house is like, who does the HOH want out? Which way are we leaning? So I understand going to that crew, and you know what? She probably did exactly what Diane did too, and it just didn't make it in the edit. She probably covered all her bases. She went to the Chilltown. She went to Chicken George. She went to everybody and was like, who do you want? That's exactly who I want out.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
I have to imagine, but who knows? This is the edit we get. So they're both working at it. And we do start to get people in the diary room doing vote to evict. The first one we see is Boogie. He votes to evict Nokomis.
Well, because Diane's hot.
Yeah.
And he wants to keep
she
her
is on his list of possible showmances, so we have to keep her in the house for that.
Great. Thanks for keeping that in there, producers. We appreciate that.
Love it. Okay.
And we get the Kayser religion Islam package, and his family, is talking about him going back into the Big Brother house now. Like, this is a big deal for them in BB6 to like have their family members kind of be out there for America to do what they will. And now he's back again. And, they should have the footage of him praying. Like he's still a very devout Muslim, it seems. And so they've got that package of Kayser, which leads into him in the HOH room talking to Julie.
Okay. A couple questions about his package with his family. It's lovely, great awareness, representation all around great. But, he prays 5 times a day. Awesome. And it made me think, I don't know that I can do anything 5 times a day. What do you do 5 times a day?
That's it. All I do is eat 5 times a day. That's probably the only thing I can do.
Yeah. I was like, I don't even think I eat 5 times a day. Like, I don't even know if there's anything.
That's true. Like for anybody out there watching, Sarah is one of those people who just forgets to eat. Just forgets.
Oh, it sounds so bad. I hate it. But yes, if you talk to anyone who knows me, I literally do. It's so awful. And I don't want people to think I have an eating disorder, but I will. I will forget.
I can vouch. We have eaten many chips and guac together.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I will eat anything, but I will also forget to eat. Like I just love the ability to do anything that much. I just am like, wow, good job.
Absolutely. Commitment.
And then the other thing is like talking about him being tempted, and who is it? I don't know if it was his sister, if it was his coworker, who it was like, this is nothing new. He can't ever drink. He can't ever be with girls. He's always tempted. No big deal. And I was like, I don't buy this for a second. Are you kidding me?
That
no way.
Tempted?
Well, that he's only tempted and that he's used to it. So he doesn't cave in because he's always tempted. How old is Kayser?
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Yeah.
But way to keep up appearances.
Yes, right.
Okay, now we're in the HOH room talking to Julie.
Room, yes. She asks him, what is the question she asks him?
She says, are you afraid you look weak because you put up 2 girls? And
Which
I was
is
like,
the most heinous way you could possibly word that question.
I was like, get to the point, Julie. Yes. Do you look weak for putting up weak options? Yes. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, but like, does it have anything to do with them being girls? No, I don't think so.
No.
So, like, you know.
That was the shortened version of like 2 girls who were left out of the vote last week. It was the longer version. They just didn't have time, David.
You're right. But she's like, you know, essentially she's saying like, you should have voted for Chilltown and we all think so. And he's like, no regrets. Like, listen, I want to get the floaters to play. You know, he's like trying to put the fear of God in these people or something. He's just trying to justify his own stupid.
He says something about being refined. You don't always have to go for the biggest targets. And I'm like, whatever helps you sleep at night, Kayser. Here we are.
Yeah. Right. Then we get more diary room and we see Will. Keep in mind that he's the second member of Chilltown. The first member of Chilltown voted to evict Nokomis, and now Will votes to evict Diane.
Okay. Will, I know that you're just Will. You'll do whatever. But like you're there for your buddy, right? The two of you have to work together. What are you doing? He says like he doesn't even care what the vote is. Whoever goes is fine. So he flippantly throws out Diane.
Yeah, he's like, if my vote is the one that flips it and she goes home, so be it. I vote to evict Diane. Like, it just seems like Will is just stirring stuff up.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he's trying to do.
Yep. Okay, now we get a Mr. and Mrs. Smith alliance. You guys who watched this in real time, we need your help with this one.
I just was like, I didn't see this at all in the edit. Right. Like, we haven't really seen much of Diane and Jace together, period. And so I'm curious, like, where did this come from? Because Julie makes a comment like, it's the alliance that has the whole house and all of America talking, you know? And so, like, all of America, like, I haven't seen this in the show at all. So I'm thinking, like, was it the live feeders who saw them flirting, talking, whatever it is, and like put these connections together? Like, why was America talking about this?
Yeah, it sounds like live feeders were like, ooh, Jace and Diane are being suspicious in some way. What we see in this edit, though, I think it's brilliant from Danielle, because she's like just kind of planting seeds of like, what's going on with this alliance? You know, the two people not talking to each other. It's like she's got no proof. She's like, see how they don't talk to each other? And then now all of a sudden that's the threat.
And it catches fire. I couldn't believe it. She was like, have you ever once seen Jace and Diane talk? And people are like, no, that's a great point. I haven't. But no one is like, yeah, they don't talk, so I don't think they're aligned. Like,
right.
It's the craziest connection. But Diane sells it in this, or Danielle, I keep mixing up those names. One of them go so that I can stop mixing up their names. But Danielle just like sells it to people, and then it's like everybody in the house is talking about it.
Yeah, everyone's worried. Jace is so shocked when it's brought up to him that he's like, what? No. Yeah. To the point that they're like, oh, he didn't cover that well. And I was like, he literally was shocked. I was like, where the heck did this come from?
No, they're like, Jace is confused. More proof that they're working together.
I was like, oh boy, you guys. All right. So then we see Janelle vote to evict Diane in the diary room. Then we see James vote to evict Nokomis. And I'm like, once again, people working together, not voting together. What is happening?
It's so strange. I mean, you know, we had seen a little hint in the bathtub where Janelle was thinking that Diane was this huge step because she's aligned with Chilltown. But it is strange that like she and James weren't on the same page. Like, it's such a strange vote, this one.
Yeah, and apparently once we find out the vote here, Janelle wasn't on the same page with the rest of her alliance.
With anybody
Marcellus?
Except Bill.
Right. Yeah. So, okay, I don't understand that vote. Hopefully we get some explanation next episode.
Right.
We come back to the living room and Julie says the vote is 8-2. Nokomis is evicted.
Yes. So obviously Janelle and Will are the only two votes for Diane. Nokomis is a bit emotional on her way out the house. Diane seems very, grateful that people have decided to keep her. Nokomis, I think, gives an interview that you would expect. Like, she's saying, dumb move by Kayser. Like, why did he nominate us in the first place? Chilltown is the biggest threat. This is so stupid. I should not be sitting here. It should be
still in the house safely
Yeah.
together.
Mhm.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting, though, while Nokomis is having her interview, Jace never got up off the couch.
Yeah, he like sat there looking really despondent, like staring up at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Seemed really sad for some reason that Nokomis went home, even though he voted clearly to evict Nokomis.
Yeah, I wondered because he was mumbling a couple things about she got him out, and she did. She came up with this whole, they call it the 6-finger plan,
right?
But it's backdooring, and she evicted Jace, and so I feel like part of him, maybe similar to what Erica went through last time, part of him needed to get Nokomis out to get her back, but maybe he also felt bad about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she was mad and she didn't want to hug him or something, so he sat on the couch. I just thought it was interesting, and I was like, I want to know what happened there.
I know. I was like, are we going to find out, like, why is he sitting there for so long? Not saying anything, barely moving, like, kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
Nokomis gets no goodbye messages.
Yeah, no goodbye messages. That was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
And she doesn't get to stick around for the HOH. It is not Nokomis rules, this HOH comp.
Well, rude, big brother. Set that precedent.
But this one is where we come back from commercial, whatever. Julie's explaining the HOH. Everyone's in the living room. You've been looking at these scenes on the memory wall earlier, and now we're going to show you this video footage. Like, pay close attention to everything you're seeing in this video footage now. And so they watch the video, they head out to the backyard. Again, it's like not true, false. It's an A, B, multiple choice.
In that little booth.
This time, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. So A or B, George and Howie are out first.
They are.
But we come down to Janelle, James, and Danielle.
Yes.
Then James and Danielle go to a tiebreaker.
Yes. Right. And it's pretty close. Like, it was, how many seconds did it take Janelle to win this veto? And you could tell, like, they both did the like how many seconds. So they're like both, they both did roughly multiples of 60. Like, James clearly thought it was 7 minutes because he did 421 seconds, like 1 second more. And then Danielle thought it was 8 minutes. She did 8 times 60, 480. But James was just a little bit closer because the answer was 379. And it's season 6 again, winning the HOH.
Can you believe it? James is the HOH. Howie starts to run up there. And James is like, stop it.
Stop celebrating.
And so he's like, hey, good job.
Yeah.
But whatever. They all know that season 6 is together. Why are we hiding? But James, of course, is going to try to play that off.
Of course. Yeah. But I mean, this is like the whole house keeps talking about we have to split season 6 up. And yeah, you do. But they're just not getting the opportunity because season 6 stays in power,
That is true. I mean, luckily for Chilltown, they're just not being targeted.
Yeah, well,
but they have not had a chance.
Resistance right now,
right? They have not had a chance to even strike or even try to get season 6 out. So far, 3 HOHs in a row. Season 6 has had a hand in it, so very, very interesting. Now we didn't mention we got some more of Howie and Dr. Will, like infatuation, touchy this episode, and I really do like that Howie is doing this flirty thing with Dr. Will because I feel like Will is in such control of everything. I mean, he's so narcissistic, he's so full of himself that he makes all the girls just kind of like goo goo gaga over him. Yeah. And he also just like makes all the men listen to him, but he doesn't know how to control a man flirting with him. Like, this is the one area that he's just like off.
Yeah. Well, and Howie now is just kind of trolling him because Howie knows that it bugs him. And so Howie's like, okay, I'm just gonna lean in. You keep telling me to stop. You keep telling me that I'm weird, that I eat paste, that, he's calling in the R word. Like, Will is clearly bothered by this. Yes. And Howie's like, I'm gonna keep bothering you.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's hard to bother Will. The only thing that really bothers him is you not nominating him. And this is the only other way to bother him. So I kind of love it. I don't know how genius Howie realizes it is, but it is.
I know. It's just fun to see like Will uncomfortable because he's such a master of this game, and such an icon. And to see him kind of like shifting in his seat a little bit is like fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. What are the odds, David, that James puts up one or both of Chilltown?
I mean, he is one of the people who is saying they have to go, right? It was just Kayser. I feel like in the last episode, the rest of season 6 kind of came to this point of like, wait a minute, Kayser effed up. Like, we should be choosing between Mike and Boogie. So I think James is one of those people who knows that they got to split up Chilltown. So please, God, put them on the block.
Yeah, I wonder because James loves playing all sides of the house.
Yeah.
What he's actually willing to do.
God.
Who's actually willing to put up Chilltown is the question.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see. We're going to do the next 2 episodes on Monday, right? Which is the Noms and Vito.
Right. So we will do James's HOH on Monday. We'll be back here live at 6:30 p.m. Pacific with that. And then the following Wednesday, a week from tonight, we will have that 3rd HOH for you here live. And those of you who are patrons, hang tight. We're going to jump over there for our Heroes versus Villains recap.
This was so good, this episode, Sarah. I was dying. Oh, my God. You guys, it's so good.
It is. Very excited to talk about that as well. Thank you guys who joined us in the chat. As always, we appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.